Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Aleks, and in this video we're going to talk about a very interesting piece from the independent watchmaker Armin Strom. This is their model called Tribute 1. It's a contemporary take on a dress watch with a lot of hot horlogerie elements and exquisite finishing. So Armin Strom is a watch brand that since 2006 is controlled by Serge Michel and master watchmaker Claude Greisler. It's founded originally by the watchmaker Armin Strom that was the master of skeletonization. He's holding the record in the Guinness World Record book for the smallest skeletonized movement. So skeletonization is a huge part of the Armin Strom DNA. It's a brand that focuses a lot on their in-house movements and hand finishing, and in this piece all those elements from their very knowledgeable watchmakers comes to life. So the Tribute 1 is the model that incorporates their DNA in a minimalistic piece that I find very appealing. Alright, so let's break down the basics of the watch. We have a 38mm rose gold case that measures 9.38 millimeters in thickness and is 44.35 millimeters long. So very wearable size even for a smaller wrist. My wrist is 16.5 centimeters for reference. It comes on a alligator strap with a rose gold folding buckle. And as you can see here on the case, that is a case that mixes both polished and satin finished surfaces. You can see the bezel is polished. We have brushed case sides. We have a very nice chamfer on the lugs, and at 6 o'clock there's a very small but distinct design feature of Armin Strom that they call the lip, that was substantially larger on other models in the past, and that space on the case was used to engrave the owner's initials. And they've kept it throughout their models, and you can see it on this one as well, but it's much smaller than it used to be. But it's a touch that they have kept. It's part of their DNA, and it's nice to see that they are true to their heritage, so to say. Even though the case is nicely finished, I really like the finish of the case. It's not the star of the show. The star of the show, in my opinion, is the movement, of course, and also the dial. So let's start with the dial. It has a grenache texture and guilloché on the sub-dial that indicates the time. I like this. This is handmade, guys, so this is very nice. It's a nice finish. You can see clearly how nice this texture is on the dial, and this is something that really appeals me. Even though the dial is quite small, or at least a space where it indicates the time, this doesn't feel naked, so to say, because there's a lot of texture and it really is something that catches your eye. So the dial is offset. That is the case for most Armin Strom pieces. It also features the crown at 2 o'clock, and that's because of the symmetry with the dial. But as you can see here, also on the lower part of the dial is their barrel and the bridge that's visible on the front end of the dial. And this is a nod to their skeletonization heritage. They want to have components from the movement also visible on the dial side, and that is, as you can see, the case with the Tribute 1 model as well. This gives you a glimpse of the exquisite finishing that this movement has, because all movement parts are hand finished. They feature anglage, 60 degrees angles, the internal angles of the bridges. It is also decorated beautifully with Côte de Genève stripes and perlage on the base plate. This is top level of finishing in the watchmaking industry. Most of the magic happens on the back side on their in-house, of course, caliber, that's manual winding. And on the movement side you can also see typical features from German watchmaking, that is the 3/4 main plate. So I mean, this watch is something you can admire for hours and look at with a loupe and just take in all the small details, all the finishing. It's super nicely finished, and it's a watch that hasn't compromised with the finishing, even though it's their entry-level piece. Also, the power reserve is 100 hours, which is great for a manual winding watch. Even though I enjoy the process, the ritual of winding the watch every day, this is not the case. You don't have to do it with this one. You can wind it once and have it running for approximately 4 days, which is great. And also one very interesting thing with the Armin Strom movements is that every movement in every watch is assembled twice. So they hand finish everything, they assemble it in the watch, they take it out, disassemble it, and assemble it again to ensure the timekeeping and that the finishing is exquisite and that the watch is functioning as it should. So the price tag for the Tribute 1 in rose gold is 23,900 Swiss francs. They also have this model available in steel with a much lower price tag. So in steel it starts at 13,900 Swiss francs, which is a lot of value for the money if you ask me. And it's available in different dial options and also with California dials. You can see all the available models on their homepage. The rose gold version in this exact configuration is limited to 100 pieces. It wouldn't surprise me if they released more versions in rose gold or in different materials in the future. I believe this watch is a very interesting take on a dress watch with modern standards. It's contemporary. It features the Armin Strom DNA with mechanical components visible on the dial side. It's just a piece that I think could be a very good start if you're interested in independent watchmaking, to be that first piece to drag you further down into the world of indie watchmaking that I find personally very interesting, where the brands usually offer a lot more for a reasonable price tag compared to many of the mainstream brands. Let me know what you think about this watch or the brand in general. I believe this one is a very interesting piece and I wouldn't mind one myself, but maybe in steel to bring down the price a bit. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. It would mean a lot if you could help this small channel grow, and I'll see you guys next time.